There are as many as 19 utensils used in the Japanese tea ceremony, but what are they all used for? In this episode, we're going to explain every tool used in the Japanese tea ceremony and explain how each one serves an important purpose. This is an excerpt from our book Matcha Masterclass, a 150-page collection of everything you've ever wanted to know about matcha, from its history to its health benefits and how to prepare it. If you want to get the full book, you can get it for free when you sign up to our newsletter using the link below. As important as the steps in the Japanese tea ceremony are the utensils. Each of these utensils has a story, and it serves an important role in both the preparation of the tea as well as the symbolism of the ceremony itself. First, we have the Chaire. This is the tea caddy used to hold the matcha powder for special tea ceremonies. It's made out of thick clay and has a seal on top, almost like a cork. This is not to be confused with the Natsume, which is another type of tea caddy made with lacquer material. The difference is that the Chaire is used for Japanese tea ceremonies that involve koicha, or thick tea. This is a special matcha paste made with double the amount of powder and half the amount of water. Chakin. The Chakin is one of the 2 tea towels used in the tea ceremony. This towel is okay to get wet, which distinguishes it from the Fukusa, which is meant to remain dry. The Chakin is made from hemp, and it's specifically used to clean out the Chawan, or matcha bowl, which is something we're going to discuss later. This purification process emphasizes one of the core principles of the tea ceremony, purity, which makes the Chakin an important part of the Japanese tea ceremony. Chasen. The Chasen is the most recognizable utensil in the tea ceremony set. This is the best tool when it comes to whisking up the perfect bowl of matcha tea. It's made out of a single piece of bamboo, and it has around 100 small bristles that move through the water to inject air into the tea. This creates a nice foam on top of the matcha, which can give the tea a smoother, creamier taste and consistency. If you're only going to invest in one tool, this whisk is the most important. If you want to take your matcha game to the next level, you can get your very own bamboo whisk at neoteas.com. Chashaku. The Chashaku is specifically designed to be the best spoon for scooping matcha powder, and it's a key addition to the tea ceremony set. The design may seem simple, but it has a few key features that make it easier to prepare matcha tea. First of all, it has a more vertical design compared to the more horizontal design of most spoons. This makes it easier to scoop out of narrower containers like a matcha tin. The second is that the Chashaku is a great measurement tool. All you need is 2 heaping spoonfuls from the Chashaku, and you will have the perfect amount of powder to create your matcha tea. Chawan. After the Chasen, the Chawan matcha bowl is probably the second most famous utensil in the Japanese tea ceremony. This may look like an ordinary bowl at first, but it has a few key features that help improve the tea ceremony. First, it has steeper sides and a wider base, making it easier to whisk the matcha. It's also made out of a thick clay, which conveys a sense of importance to the tea, and it also helps to keep the matcha tea warm as long as you preheat it beforehand. Finally, it usually has a beautiful design on the side of it, which is meant to be turned towards the guest to demonstrate one of the core principles of the Japanese tea ceremony, respect. This is demonstrated by the guest allowing others to look at the most beautiful side of the tea bowl as they drink the matcha tea. There are many different styles of Chawan, and when you build your own customizable matcha set on our website, you can choose from many different designs to match your unique style. Just go to neoteas.com to get your very own. Fukusa. As we mentioned before, the Fukusa is the second towel used in the Japanese tea ceremony. Unlike the Chakin, this towel is meant to remain dry, and it's used to purify the objects used in the tea ceremony, like the Natsume and the Chashaku. This cloth is made out of silk, and it's kept around the waist of the tea master and unfolded before the tea ceremony. After the tea master is done using the Fukusa, she will fold it back up the same way and place it back on her belt. Furo. This is the portable heater for the iron pot used in the Japanese tea ceremony. This is mostly used in the spring and summer, and it's usually made out of bronze. The Furo has a small opening inside of it to let air in and keep the coal inside burning well. This allows it to heat the water for the tea ceremony and be easily transported. Futaoki. The Futaoki is a seldom known component of the Japanese tea ceremony set. At the start of the tea ceremony, the futa, or lid of the kettle, is placed on the kama, or iron pot, in order to keep the water warm. Then the Hishaku, or bamboo ladle, is positioned on the Futaoki until the host scoops out the first cup of water from the iron pot. Next, the tea master will place the kettle lid on the Futaoki. Most Futaoki are made out of bamboo, with a small nodule in the middle, but it's not uncommon to find one made out of either ceramic or porcelain. Hishaku. The Hishaku is another one of the more famous utensils in the tea ceremony. This is the bamboo ladle used to scoop the water from the iron pot into the matcha bowl. The tea master will use approximately half a Hishaku full of water in order to prepare the matcha tea. A Hishaku can also be used out of temples as part of the purification ritual, but these tend to be larger. kama. The kama is the iron pot used to heat the water. When you walk into the tea room, you may notice a square carved into the tatami mats. This is where the kama, or iron pot, resides, and it's lined with bronze, heat-proof material that also contains hot coals at the bottom. These hot coals serve as a way to keep the water hot throughout the tea ceremony. Kaishi. The kaishi is the paper napkin used to serve the sweets and can be considered part of the tea ceremony as well. During the tea ceremony, the guest is usually presented with some type of sweet, or wagashi, to enjoy with their tea. This serves two purposes. The first is to offer a special gift to the guest to strengthen their bond with the host. The second is to set the theme of the tea ceremony. Wagashi can be artistically created to convey different ideas or different seasons, so it really helps set the tone of the entire tea ceremony. The kaishi is usually kept by the tea master ready to be used, but it can also be kept by the guest. These paper napkins are very small and easy to tuck away. Kensui. The kensui is the wastewater bowl used in the tea ceremony. This may not seem like an important part of the Japanese tea ceremony, but it does play an important role. After the tea master prepares the tea bowl and tea whisk, she will need to discard the water. Having the kensui around makes it easy to pour this water out without having to leave the tea room and interrupt the flow of the tea ceremony. Kobukusa. The kobukusa is a thicker silk cloth used to present the matcha bowl. This is not used to clean the tea utensils, but rather to protect tea utensils. Compared to the fukusa, the kobukusa is made from much thicker material, and it often contains more decorative patterns. It's placed on the tatami mat, and then the chawan is placed on top of it for the guest. This is used primarily for special tea ceremonies where koicha is drunk. Mizusashi. The Mizusashi is another component that you may not notice over the course of a regular tea ceremony. This container is filled with cold water, and it's used to refill the kama, or iron pot, in between tea ceremonies. It's normally made out of clay, and it has a lid on top. This is an important tool when it comes to setting the stage of the tea ceremony, although you may not see it being used during the actual ceremony itself. Natsume. The Natsume is another type of tea caddy. As we mentioned before, if koicha, or thick tea, is being prepared during special tea ceremonies, the chaire will be used instead. This is usually made out of lacquered or unprocessed wood, and it gets the name because it resembles the jujube fruit, which is called natsume in Japanese. Sensu. The sensu is perhaps the least used utensil in the tea ceremony set. In fact, the sensu isn't really used at all. This folding fan is kept in front of the guest, completely folded up as a polite gesture during the tea ceremony. This is something you'll rarely find still being done, but it can be used. Shifuku. The shifuku is the protective cloth pouch used for the chaire. The cloth is usually covered in a decorative pattern and has a drawstring to it. The chaire is placed inside the shifuku pouch, and it's closed up to keep the chaire protected until it's ready to be used. Although this is technically a container for another utensil, a lot of work goes into making it, and it's a work of art in its own right. Ro. In spring and summer, the furo is used in the tea ceremony, but in the fall and winter, the ro, or sunken hearth, is used. This is the square hearth carved into the tatami mat where the kama is submerged and kept hot with burning coals. Yakan. The yakan is the water pitcher used to replenish the mizusashi at the end of the tea ceremony. This may seem like there's too many containers just being used for water, but each one is an important part of the Japanese tea ceremony. In the next video, we're going to talk about tea ceremony etiquette and what to do when it comes time to participate in your own Japanese tea ceremony. If you don't want to wait, you can just sign up using the link below and we'll send you the whole book for free. Until then, we'll see you next time.